I'm looking to see if I see anyone, and I don't see a thing. I'm just like, what was that? Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, hi. My name is Shayna. In my little corner of the internet, we talk about spooky history of all kinds. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because I am here for you every Wednesday. Last week, my mom and I did a special video where she talked about her paranormal experiences. If you missed it, I'll be sure to link it up here for you. But today we're gonna be doing my own personal experience, and I'm gonna put on my makeup on as I do it because I've got to get ready for the day anyways, and figured why not? So be prepared again. I will be barefaced. You have been warned. So guys, without further ado, let's get into it. I got my coffee and I'm ready to rock and roll. As per the usual, everything will be listed down below in the description. I'm not gonna show everything. It's the same stuff I used in my Get Ready With Me video, so I'm just gonna link it below in case you are interested in what I'm using. As I said earlier, today's video is something that I have experienced in the past, and today we're gonna be talking about the Spook Light. So I'm gonna dive into the history of the Spook Light and then I'll tell you guys my experiences. Just northeast of Oklahoma, there's an old dirt road that is the home of a bouncing ball of light. This orb, as people call it, travels from east to west along this 4-mile gravel road. And locals call this part the Devil's Promenade. Now, people refer to this ball of light as the Spook Light, or the Joplin Spook Light, or the Tri-State Spook Light, or the Hornet Spook Light. It's right in the middle of like a tri-state area, so in different states each person calls it differently, but the most common is the Spook Light. Either way, it's a light that spooks people. Now, this ball of light was originally seen by the local Indians along the infamous Trail of Tears back in 1836, but the first official report was in 1881 in a publication that was called the Ozark Spook Light. Now, the light changes size often. It ranges from the size of like a baseball to the size of a basketball. It's known to dance and spin around the center of the dirt road at very fast speeds. It's also seen rising or hovering above the trees. Really weird. Now, some people have reported that it like sways from side to side, kind of like someone holding a lantern with a walk. You know how the lantern would sway? That's what they experience. But this ball of light has been seen nightly for well over 100 years. Now, according to the locals, the best time to go and see the light is anywhere between 10 p.m. and midnight. And many people have tried to study the light, try to, figure out what it is, debunk what people think it is. Even the Army Corps of Engineers tried to figure this light out. They wanted to know what was causing the light to appear and disappear. They tried to come up with a scientific explanation of what it could be. They said it was either escaping natural gas, car lights driving by, or reflection on billboards. Yeah, they said that it had to be some sort of illuminescence caused by rotting organic matter, but no one has been able to prove without a doubt. Well, let's go on and debunk those theories, okay? The escaping natural gas, the ball of light doesn't seem to be affected by rain and wind like gas would be. So that's got to be a no. Also, how would it self-ignite? It's kind of weird too, right? Now, the explanation of headlights and billboards is easily debunked because there was no cars or billboards in the 1800s when they first started seeing this light. They were seeing this light before the dirt road even existed. So that's another thing. Now, there is one possible explanation where it could be an electrical atmospheric charge. I guess in areas where there are rocks way beneath the surface are shifting and grinding, it could cause an electrical charge. And that usually happens in a location where earthquakes are common, which is kind of in that area. I think Oklahoma gets earthquakes often, maybe not too often, but that has not been proven. That's just a theory. So now let's talk about the legends of the Spook Light and what people think it is and what the locals think it is. There's like 2 or 3 different legends because a lot of people believe it's a ghostly apparition, that there's some sort of ghost explanation for why the Spook Light appears every night. Now, the oldest story that's out there is about a Quapaw Indian maiden who fell in love with a young man, but her father wouldn't allow her to marry him because he didn't have a large enough dowry. Well, you'll never guess what they did. Actually, I'm sure you could guess. They ran away. They didn't listen, as most teens do. They just think they know better. Well, they ended up running away and eloping anyways. But that didn't last very long because they ended up getting caught by a bunch of warriors. As they were about to get captured, they held hands and jumped to their deaths in the Spring River. It's a very sad story. And then they say shortly after that, the light appeared. Now there's another legend that people believe it could be, and it talks about a miner who had a cabin in the woods, and while he was away, it was attacked by Indians. When he came back, he found out that his wife and children were gone, and that the lantern is him walking in the woods looking for his family, which if that is the case, that is very sad. Now sightings of the light are very common. Like I said, it appears nightly, just about. So if you're gonna go visit it, you're pretty much guaranteed you're gonna see it at least once. You may have to visit it a couple nights in a row just to make sure, but people will say that they'll see it just appearing in their cars. Some will be walking on the road at night. They say it'll zoom right past them and they can feel the heat coming off of it. Really weird. But then feeling the heat, very interesting, because usually whenever you come in contact with a ghost, it's always cold. You know what I mean? There's cold spots that you would feel, not heat. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's talk about my experiences now. I've had two. I've gone to see the Spook Light 3 times and I saw it twice. Well, I think I saw it the second time. I'll explain. So the first time I saw it, I was in like middle school, I think. Pretty sure I was in middle school. And I went with my old church group at the time, which, come to think of it, is kind of a weird thing to a church group too, isn't it? Anyways, nonetheless, we went and we parked on top of this small hill, and down at the bottom of this hill there was a small truck. It was really dark out. We had all of our lights off so we could make sure we could see it, and we were really quiet because they say it's scared of loud noises, but I don't think that's true because of what I experienced. Now the truck down below was blaring music, like rock music, like really loud. We could hear it, and so we tried to kind of stay away from that truck just in case. I didn't see anyone near the truck. It was pitch black. I didn't see anyone inside the truck. There was no movement. We didn't hear voices or anything. So we're like, well, that's kind of weird, right? It's like maybe they went into the woods to go look for it and left the music on so that they could follow the music the way to come back, is what I assumed, because I didn't see anyone near that truck. Now, as we were at the top of this hill, we were looking around, you know, trying to see if we can catch a glimpse of some light somewhere. Now, mind you, there are like no houses around where we were at. It's really out in the middle of nowhere. There's trees around you, and you're just on this long, straight, kind of hilly dirt road. And all of a sudden, we were looking down at where the truck was, and we saw this big ball of light. Like, it was perfectly shaped, perfectly round. It had to have been as big as a basketball. It was big, if not bigger, and it just lit up the whole area where the truck was, so you knew there was no one around it. It's kind of like it was checking out the truck, you know what I mean? It appeared for a few seconds, and then it was gone. It vanished. And that's why I was like, why would it go and see this truck that's blaring music if it was scared of loud noises? So I thought that was kind of weird. That was a really good experience. That was the best one that I had because I actually saw it. You know what I mean? My second experience was different. I really do think I saw it, but I didn't see the ball of light, if that makes sense. It's really weird. So let me just explain. My friends and I wanted to go and see it. It's really late, you know, around the time we're supposed to be there for it to show up. And we're driving. I'm driving really slow. I don't remember if I have my car lights on. I might have kept them on because we weren't parked yet. We were trying to find a place to park and sit, you know. That's a good spot where we can see everywhere. Now remember, we're covered with trees, right? On the right side of the road, I saw this kind of like headlights. Like, I couldn't see the car because of the trees, but I saw a light beaming across the road. And so I'm thinking that I'm coming up on a road and I'm gonna need to slow down because there's a car right there. And again, we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no one around. We're by ourselves. There's no other cars. There's no houses for miles. It's just, well, I don't know for miles, but there's no houses around us where we're at. And so I start slowing down because I don't know if the car sees me or if they're gonna wait for me to pass. So I just kind of start to slow down, and as I'm coming up on it, the light turns off. And I'm just like, okay. And I think I was the only one that saw this because my friends were kind of talking and I was the one driving, so I was trying to pay attention to where we were going. I was like, well, maybe they're just sitting there, you know, waiting to see the spook light. I still don't know if I'm coming up on a road. So as I creep up to where I think the road is, there's no road. There's no road anywhere. We're the only road. As I'm driving, I'm looking to see if I see anyone. I know it's dark, but I'm looking to see if I see anyone, and I don't see a thing. I'm just like, what was that? And I just thought that was so weird. And the whole way, I mean, we didn't see any other cars. So I was like, that can't be a person just randomly out in the woods, would it? But I mean, I don't know. I think it was the spook light, but then again, it's like, you never know, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But that first experience that I had was really awesome. I loved that. That was a really cool experience. The third time I tried to go, we didn't see anything. So it's just one of those things that you may not see it the first time. You may have to go a couple more times before you'll actually see it. And you know, it's nothing malicious, but it's just really weird. You know what I mean? It's a really weird thing because usually when you go to haunted places, you're not guaranteed that something's gonna happen to you. But with the spook light, it happens so often that if you're gonna go, you have a pretty good chance of seeing it. I think that's why a lot of people don't think it's paranormal, because it happens all the time. But there are a lot of ghost stories where the ghosts will appear to anyone, which I do have some good ghost stories coming up where the ghosts appear to anyone and everyone. I'm really excited about those stories. Like, do you guys live in the area? Have you ever been to the spook light? Have you seen it? Let me know in the comments. But that's it for me today, guys. I kind of talked really fast, so I had to rush through my makeup, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.